Hello and welcome back to Wrongmar. In today's maths lesson, we're taking a look at weight for the first time. Our wall for today is to read and recognise the units of weight that we use most often. But first, what is weight? What are we measuring when we're measuring weight? Pause the video and write down an answer. Well, when we are finding the weight of something, we're finding out how heavy or light it is. Last week, we looked at a different measurement, length, and we found out that we use centimetres, metres, and kilometres to measure length. But what units of measurement do we use when we're measuring weight? Can you pause the video and see if you can figure out what the two most common units of weight are? Pause the video and write them down. Well, when we are measuring weight, we use the measurements of grams and kilograms. We use grams if we are measuring things that are light, and we use kilograms if we are measuring things that are heavy. There is a short way of writing grams and kilograms, just like there was a short way of writing meters by writing M and kilometers by writing km. Can you pause the video and write down what the short way of writing grams and kilograms are? Pause the video and give it a try. Well, the short way to write grams is by writing G, and the short way of writing kilograms is kg. Remember we said we use grams for lighter objects and kilograms for heavier? Well, how many grams do you think there are in 1 kilogram? If you're very sharp, you might notice that little word kilo before the word gram in our bigger unit. And if you can remember from last week's lessons on length, we saw that word kilo there as well. So that might help you figure it out. Pause the video and write down how many grams there are in a kilogram. Well, did you get it right? There are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. Remember, that word kilo means 1,000 of, just like a kilometre. If you want to feel how heavy 1 kilogram is, maybe check in your presses to see if you have a bag of sugar that looks like this. These are usually 1 kilogram heavy, so you can feel it in your hand and see roughly how heavy a kilo is. Okay, now that we know that there's two different units of measuring weight, one for lighter objects, one for heavier objects, it's time to do a little practice. I'm going to show you an item that we want to weigh. I need you to decide whether we would use grams or kilograms to weigh it. You ready? Okay, here's your first item we want to weigh. Would we use grams or kilograms to weigh this elephant? Pause the video and write down your answer. Well, of course, to weigh something as heavy as an elephant, we would use kilograms, the bigger unit of measure. Next one, this cupcake. Would we use grams or kilograms to weigh this cupcake? Pause the video and write down your answer. Well, cupcakes are quite light, so we would use grams to measure this cupcake. Next picture, this moped or scooter. Would we use kilograms or grams to weigh this moped? Pause video and write down your answer. Well, we would definitely use kilograms for the scooter because it's quite heavy. What about this box of cereal? Would we use grams or kilograms to measure a box of cereal? Pause the video and write down your answer. Well, you might have even seen this before. On the side of your box, it usually tells you that it weighs 500 grams. So we would use grams to measure the cereal box. And one last one. how about this hat? Do you think we would use grams or kilograms to measure this hat? Well, we would certainly use grams to measure the hat because, again, if it was kilograms, it would squish you down into the ground for being so heavy. It's really useful to have different units of measurement, such as grams and kilograms, because then we can use them for weighing different objects. And boy, do we use them a lot. Weight is used every day in a huge variety of different places and jobs. Can you think of at least 3 different places or activities where you would need to be able to use weight? Pause the video and write down those 3 different answers. Weight pops up in all kinds of weird and unusual places in the real world. One place where you've probably seen weight before, or if you haven't already, you definitely will once you start doing this, is in the kitchen. Weight is in every single baking recipe, from cookies to fancy wedding cakes, and it's used an awful lot when we're cooking food as well, like weighing out how much rice you're going to need, or weighing out how much vegetables you need to cut up for a big soup. Another place where weight is used an awful lot is in sports, especially in Olympic sports. You might have heard the terms heavyweight or lightweight in boxing. In boxing, people who weigh the same amount box against each other. So a really light person is not going to box against a really heavy person. Another sport where weight is absolutely crucial is weightlifting. In weightlifting, it's a competition to see who can lift up the heaviest load above their head. Of course, this would be impossible if they couldn't actually weigh. But even if you don't like baking and you're not interested in Olympic sports, weight still affects you in normal ways. If anybody has ever been to the airport before, you know that one of the most nerve-wracking things is when they weigh your bag to see if you've put in too much stuff. So again, even if you're just going on holidays, you're going to need to be able to understand weight. I'm going to send you off to do a bit of exploring weight by yourself at home. When you're ready, you can try the practice activities down below. Our wall for today was to be able to read and recognize the units of weight, grams and kilograms. Can you do that now? If you can, you're ready to try the practice activities below. If not, have another watch of the video. That's all we have time for today. Until next time, take care.